Champions League quarterfinals, second leg. Are you excited, Theo?
I'm buzzing, Thogden. You know what, though? I've got a query. How many of you actually support one of the teams that are still in the competition? If you do, hit the like. I want to see it and compare it to the views to see how many still have your team in this comp.
And the first game is Inter Milan against Benfica. 2-0 to Inter Milan after the first leg. Great goal from Barella. Lukaku from the penalty spot. Bit of a lucky penalty. But Benfica, Theo, didn't really turn up, did they? 2 shots on target. One of them in the last minute.
It disappoints me with Benfica after seeing them so good in the group stage, ending above PSG, scoring more goals than anybody else, shining. Of course, they lost Enzo Fernandez in January, but that's just one player. That should not affect the team as much as it has. To lose at home 2-0, you've got no bite. It's a disgrace.
We've been hyping up the likes of João Mario with 6 goals, Rafa Silva 6 goals, Gonçalo Ramos with 7 goals. Benfica have this habit of bottling things in the quarterfinals, don't they? They've been so brilliant in Liga Portugal, and that's the irony, because Inter Milan have been so poor in Serie A.
Do you think that actually plays an effect then? History, the fact they do bottle it on recent form in quarterfinals, is that why they're 2-0 down and they're going on a path to outguard this tournament?
Well, do you know what? I think Champions League DNA is really important. So Inter Milan, I know it's 2010, but the fans remember that. Some of the backroom staff might remember that. And I think it's important, Theo. Benfica had to at least score a goal at home.
So you think Inter can go to the final?
I saw back in the day Chelsea win this tournament when they were way down in the Premier League. So you get down to the last 4. And let's be honest, Inter Milan are going to go through
I'm going to be honest with you. Inter are just a really annoying team. They're low scoring. They've got a really solid defence with the likes of Skriniar, who's literally leaving, Bastoni, who's getting all the assists, and then you've got Onana in goal, who just saves everything. Like, this guy is going man of the match after man of the match. I said it on Sky today, and I'll say it again here. The guy is a joke. It's very hard to break down that team. It reminds me a lot of what Italy did in the Euros.
Yes.
Where they didn't look the best in any of the games, but they scraped it through every time. They went to Porto on a 1-0, and they held it 0-0. That is a crazy result.
We know Italians historically, Theo, very good defensively. So I'm going to go Inter Milan 1-0.
I actually think a 0-0. A San Siro, goalless, boring draw. If you stick in a punt on it, I think it's the best shout. The Inter boys will be loving it, knowing that that will set them through to the final 4 of the Champions League. Come on.
Bayern Munich against Manchester City,
man. My lord. Chic Mansour.
You're just trying to annoy the Bayern Munich fans, aren't you?
That was the song they sang when the Chic Mansour and the Glazers out banner was faced at the City. We were at the first leg. It was a Haaland destruction, wasn't it?
Theo, it was a fantastic game. Manchester City could have scored 5 or 6. Bayern Munich, can we say anything positive about them?
No.
I will, actually. Leroy Sané played very, very well.
Bro, he got in a fight at full time, and you said that's their only positive of the day is Leroy Sané. Yes,
Sadio Mane came on and scrapped him.
Are you really judging that Leroy Sané had nothing to do with this scrap?
Well,
of course he. Sadio Mane doesn't just think. Do you know what? I woke up in the morning and just thought, I'm going to scrap somebody.
Upamecano was at fault for the second goal. He was racially abused online after that, which we condemn, don't we?
That's disgraceful. There's no room for racism in the game in general. It's just a shame that we're in a world where this is still a thing. Bayern Munich, they've got a 1-1 draw in Bundesliga. Thomas Tuchel is trying every possible way to bottle the Bundesliga too. It's actually, you wonder if it was the right appointment after all. Was there just too much pressure? Too much going on at the club? I don't understand what the directors of the board were thinking sacking Nagelsmann. I said it was a disgrace when it happened. And I look back now and I think, okay, they've almost flipped up the Bundesliga, but Dortmund are also doing their best efforts to mess it up against Stuttgart as well. In the Champions League, they're out. I think if you replay this game 100 times, not one of them shows an entry for Bayern Munich going through to the next round. Man City right now are playing liquid football. Nothing's stopping them. They're crapping on Leicester. They're crapping on Bayern. Haaland is about to break every record under the sun. I do not see them bottling this in any shape or form. In fact, I think City are going to win the Prem and the Champions League.
He was magnificent against Bayern Munich. In fact, the whole team were, Theo. You could pick 11 players. They were all brilliant.
I'm going to go 2-0 City, which means on aggregate a 5-0 battering. I won't be going because I think the game is done.
I think there might be a little bit of pride salvage. I'm going to go Bayern Munich 2, Man City 2. And let me explain myself. Okay. City will rest players.
I almost feel bad for Bayern. Fans, they've been for a lot.
They're going to win their 11th Bundesliga in a row.
Are they?
Yeah.
Because they're going to There's the 2-point gap. They both drew. 6 games left. The Bundesliga, that's for a different video.
They've got a better goal difference. They will win the Bundesliga. Napoli against AC Milan, the 2 Italian teams. It's 1-0 to AC Milan. Now Napoli smashing the league, but they bottled this one. They missed their chances, didn't they?
Yeah, Spalletti has already said Osimhen returns for the second leg, and that will make such a difference, having that Nigerian striker back. What a player he is. Do you think they can make the comeback?
I do, Theo, but I want to point out one player from AC Milan, the goalkeeper, Mike Maignan.
What a player.
Was absolutely super. I think he made 8 saves. He was the difference on the day.
No, the Frenchman's brilliant. And Milan did their best efforts of bottling it as well when they played it around the back in the early moments, gave Kvara an open goal. But he shot in the one position where a Milan defender was standing. Take nothing away from Mainan's performance. Even Brahim Diaz, who in the last 2 games, it's been Milan-Napoli, one in the Serie A, one in the Champions League. But in both, Brahim Diaz has got contributions. For a man who hasn't had incredible stats in the league, to play in the big games like he has, is quite spectacular. 2 could be a long stretch for them to come back for, especially with Anguissa suspended.
Benacer, he took his chance, didn't he? Only 2 chances to AC Milan, only 2 shots on target. But it doesn't matter, does it?
Well, Giroud's got 6 contributions. I'm sure if he takes 1 chance at the Sao Paulo, it's done. When you saw the original draw, everybody had pretty much said that Napoli are going to be in the Champions League final. They've already won the league, so they can rest players for that. Seems too good to be true almost. At one point, are they just going to bottle it? Is this going to end 0-0? Are Milan going to find a way through? What do you think?
Well, 2 weeks ago, Theo, Napoli played AC Milan, and the score was 4-0 to AC Milan in Naples. Now, that was a bit of a surprise event. I think Napoli will sneak this one. It's going to be 1-0 to them after 90 minutes.
Right.
It goes to extra time. It goes to penalties. Napoli win it.
Napoli win it,
Napoli win it on penalties.
Even though the last time they played at the stadium, they lost 4-0 to the same team.
And I know they did. That was a one-off thing.
That was a one. And if they defend like they did Kim Min-jae all over the gaff, the whole defence went missing, to be honest, for that 90 minutes. I think they're going to learn from their mistakes. And Napoli are going to win this in the 90, 2-0. The tensions will be through the roof. This is going to be the game of the week, with a goal from Kvara and a goal from Osimhen. This is the one I want to hear about. I'm going to give 50 Mars bars away to one predictor who gets the score right and the first goal scorer. Get them in the comments now. I'm going to pin a comment, respond to it. I'll be looking at all of them. I'm going to be responding to comments, guys.
And finally, our very own Chelsea against Real Madrid. Real Madrid 2-0 up, Theo. And Chelsea, now they beat Borussia Dortmund 2-0, didn't they, in the last round? Can they possibly, conceivably, win this?
I think they've not got a chance. They just lost to Brighton 2-1, Dad.
Oh, at least they scored. Well, they went 6 hours without scoring, and today they scored. But it's been terrible, hasn't it? Frank Lampard's come back. Nothing's changed.
3 losses in a row for Lampard. The only good thing he did was getting top 4 with Chelsea under an embargo. Don't know why he's got the job.
Talking of interviews and score predictions, Theo, Todd Boehly, what's he called?
The way he's running that club, I think he's going to be running away.
Oh,
unbelievable.
Predicted 3-0 to Chelsea, didn't he?
He's going to have Mudryk on the paychecks for 12 years. That guy needs to run away from the club. ASAP. Roman Abramovich. Now you realise what a good owner is.
Yes.
He ran the club properly. Sometimes the fans, they wanted more, they wanted less, they wanted to have more say. That guy knew what he was doing. With Marina Gavrilova and Roman Abramovich, they were the perfect director of football plus ownership. The way that club was run was great, and I really enjoyed seeing it. The way it's run now with Todd Boehly and Todd Boehly. That is it. Funny Americans, you can have a good chat with them, score predictions and all. They don't know how to run a football club, and they don't know how to spend money. And everybody is trying to cash in on them, boost their agent fees on them, because they know they can make more.
I know.
They don't know how to sell players or loan them out, like when they cancelled the Ziyech deal. I don't believe the fax machine stopped working. I think they delayed it and thought, why are we trying to strengthen PSG? Because at the time, they were both still in the Champions League. These guys are finished.
First leg, because I watched that, and we can talk about the Ben Chilwell sending off. It was almost as if Chelsea didn't feel they had any hope, and Real Madrid just cruised. They could have won that by 4 or 5.
I fell asleep, and I'm glad I never travelled to Madrid for it, because they killed the leg.
One positive, Kepa I thought was excellent.
Wow, I'm surprised you found a positive. I thought Benzema was on fire, even during Ramadan.
I thought the midfield as well, with Valverde and Kroos and Modric. I mean, the whole team was good, but they could have won it by so much more. It's almost as if, well, we'll win 2-0 here.
And we'll win 2-0 away.
Well,
that's what they'll do.
That's what you think. I'm going to go 1-0 to Real Madrid.
Either way on aggregate, they're smashed. My goals go for Benzema and Valverde. It's funny you mention it. On one side of the draw, we are both saying Napoli knock out AC Milan and play Inter, who knock out Benfica. So that means we've got a Napoli-Inter Milan, another full Italian European semi-final. What a game that will be over 2 legs. Chelsea-Real Madrid. We've both said Real Madrid will be the successors. No surprises there. And Bayern Man City, both Man City, again, quite an obvious prediction. Real Madrid against Man City.
Oh.
We know how close that was last year.
Yeah.
Pep looking for revenge. Do you think he'll do it? Ooh,
Yes,
don't
Manchester City win that.
Save it for our semi-final Champions League prediction. And we will drop that in a few weeks when we get 10,000 likes. If you support one of these teams still, hit the like. We're still working that out. Thank you for watching. I'll see you down in the comments. I'm reading them all today because I'm so excited about these games. Get down there. See you in a bit. Bye-bye.
See ya.